What is up, y'all? So we're heading to the thrift store today. You know we're not going to let a little bit of rain stop us. Now we've had a super busy week, and this is probably going to be our only chance at thrifting that we're going to have. I know that most of y'all out there are just as busy as me, but let's just see if it's possible to spend about 30 minutes or so inside one thrift store and see if we can come away with a handful of nice items that we can flip online for a profit. So let's head on inside and see what we find. Now, as soon as I walk into the store, I see a brand new rack of clothes that has just come out. And what do you know? I grabbed myself a nice vintage t-shirt. There you have it, Aruba. Really cool graphic print. I love the two-tone fabrics. Single stitch hems, gonna be a way to help you identify if it's a vintage t-shirt. It's a ringer. I don't really find ringers all that often. That's pretty cool. Nice vintage tag, made in USA. Keep a lookout. Should sell for around 25 or 30 bucks. On to the shoe section. I've actually been selling a ton of shoes lately. It's turned into one of my favorite categories to source. Nice pair of Crocs. I did not end up picking these up, but certain styles do sell. It's a nice pair of Ultras. In my opinion, one of the best running shoe brands out there. Brand new, these shoes will probably go for $125 or so. I should be able to get around $40 for them. Nice pair of neon Vans. I did not get these for $8. If they were like $4 or $5, I might have grabbed them, but not gonna get them for $8. There's a nice find here. We have ourselves a Barbour vest. So Barbour is a brand that's out of the United Kingdom, kind of along the same vein as CC Filson. They make a lot of nice outdoor themed clothing, hunting, hiking, that sort of stuff. So it's pretty high quality vest here. As you can see, there's the tag, some nice stitching, and there's the inside tag. There you go, made in England. So pick this guy up. Should sell for around $50 or so. Here we have a vintage navy hoodie. I did not end up grabbing this. It did have some stains and stuff on it. Probably could have flipped it for a few bucks, but decided to leave it behind. All right, moving on down the racks. You really never know what you're gonna find. I always keep an eye out for nice flannels and things like that. This sweater here just caught my eye. I could tell by the feel that it was gonna be high quality. Pulled it out and inspected it. Turns out to be a Brigade Quartermaster's like military style wool sweater made in England. It's actually 80% wool and I believe 20% nylon. Yep, there it is right there. Super nice. It's got like these Velcro patches on the sleeve. As you can see there, they sell for around 30 bucks. We picked it up for $5. All right, here we have one of our best finds of the day. I was honestly surprised if this thing was just sitting there on the racks, but there you have it. You can see the logo right there, Lululemon. This is a men's full zip hoodie, super nice, charcoal colorway. You can just tell by the attention to the detail, you know Lululemon is just super high quality. It's got some very minimal branding on it, which I personally really like. But there you go, Lululemon on the zipper. Believe it or not, this thing actually retailed for 178 bucks. I should be able to get around $60 or so, maybe more. So anytime that I'm out there thrifting and I come across brands that I've never heard of, if it feels like good quality, I always pull it out and look it up. You never really know what you're gonna come across. These two hoodies did not end up panning out, but they felt good, so I looked them up. So we've got a vintage Ralph Lauren polo here, like a quarter zip sweater. I didn't end up grabbing this. It was a little bit more faded than I would have liked, but they do sell. Coming up on a great find right here, this is a pair of women's On Cloud running shoes. These things are super popular and trendy right now. Brand new, this pair of shoes would sell between $120 to maybe $140 or so. You can see no holes, no major tread wear. These things are in pretty good shape. Should be able to get about $55, $60 for these things. So here's a brand that I always like to pick up. It is Gravity Defier. They specialize in like comfort shoes, walking and running shoes for both women and men. This is a women's pair right here. I always pick these up and I always seem to do pretty well. So as you can see, they're gonna need a little bit of cleaning, but overall, structurally, they're in good shape. Should get around that $35 mark or so. So here's another brand that I'm always on the lookout for. This is a pair of women's Brooks Adrenaline 20 running shoes. Still a pretty new style of shoe here. I really like the colorway on these, and Brooks just tend to sell really well for me. They retail for good money when they're brand new, and they still command a pretty decent price on the used market. As you can see, there's a little bit of wear. We've got a little bit of tread wear, but there's still plenty of life left. So I feel comfortable selling this pair. Should get around that $40 to $50 mark for these. So here was just a brand that I always like to look up. This is a pair of women's Duluth, like casual slip-on shoes. Didn't end up panning out. Just a cool little vintage piece right here. This is a Jolly Green Giant flashlight from the 80s. I didn't end up grabbing it, but I did think it was cool. So here we have a pretty unique style of Crocs. I believe they're called the Swiftwater. They're like a water style shoe. This is a men's pair here. Not all Crocs sell well, but some of the more unique styles do have some decent resale value on the used market. Should get around $35 for this pair. And a bonus pickup that I didn't capture in stores. We have another vintage Ringer t-shirt. This one says Kinzua Country, Pennsylvania. It's got like a cool Native American graphic on it. I don't know, I just am a sucker for vintage t-shirts, so I had to grab this one. I really like these old Ringer tees. I really just don't come across them all that much. Double stitch on the sleeves, but if you look at the bottom hem, it is single stitch. So that's gonna be your telltale sign that it's vintage right there. There are some stains on this guy, which I'm going to try to get out. I wouldn't recommend always picking up shirts with stains on them, but sometimes they can still be worth decent money. So all in all, not a bad thrift store stop at all. I'm actually super happy with this. So I'm going to head back out into the rain, jump in the car, head home, and we'll dive into the profits. Alright, so we're back home in the office. So the point that I really wanted to make in this video is that you really don't have to invest a ton of time in reselling in order to make a little bit of money. So I only went into one thrift store this week for a total of about 30 minutes, and I still came away with a handful of pretty good items that I'm going to be able to resell. Granted, not every thrift store stop is going to yield you a whole bunch of really good resellable items, but honestly, you're going to find that the more time you spend thrifting, the more the items are just going to start jumping out at you that you're going to recognize are worth a little bit of money. So let's get to the breakdown of today's trip. So we spent a total of exactly $52 at this thrift store stop. So I went ahead and calculated the total gross earnings that I think that I'm going to be able to get for selling all of these items. This does include shipping, and that number came out to $360. So eBay takes about 13% of those earnings, so that's about 47 bucks. Shipping is going to cost somewhere in the ballpark of $71. And after subtracting out our cost of goods, we are left with a total net earnings of 190 bucks. Honestly, not bad for 30 minutes spent in a thrift store. Now keep in mind, not everything's gonna sell overnight. You are gonna have to photograph, list, store, and then ship out these items. But hey, in my opinion, that's all part of the fun. So that's gonna do it for this video, everybody. Once again, we really appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.